Yes, indeed. Steve Sachs. Steve,
Rookie
Brian,
of
and
the
Harold
year.
here. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, guys. How you doing?
Steve, I know you watched the show, so I saw the way you guys won last night, and I thought, like, the headline alone would make Harold faint. A sack bunt and then a bunt to win the game. Tell us your philosophy of bunting.
I think it's underrated. I think that that's what the game needs, more small ball, if you will. It just doesn't seem that there's enough of that going. I mean, yesterday we had to manufacture that run because there's times where teams are going to go through stints where they're not driving the ball as well, or maybe they're just lining out, whatever it may be. You need to have another way to manufacture runs, and that's what we did last night. It won us the ball game.
How about as far, look, you were aggressive in there. You had like the safety squeeze on, so that's like aggressive baseball. But how do you weigh it at the beginning of an inning in giving away an out and doing a sacrifice bunt? What's the risk reward there?
Well, I know we're going to get into sabermetrics now, but that's okay. No, I think it's very important. I think if you got the type of a team where you understand the philosophy, you buy into that philosophy, how important it is to move that guy over to third base. You got one out now. You got the heart of your order coming up to hit a fly ball. You're definitely going to give up that out to score a run, especially late in the ball game.
Steve, I know you're coaching first base as well. Another part of the game seems coming back is running and stealing bases. And I'm just curious with you being at first, how has it changed now, being able to watch the pitchers' moves and slide steps and different things like that from maybe when we were playing?
Well, that's a good point, Harold, because it seems now that there's not as much running in the game now. I mean, everybody knows that. It's gone to more of the long ball, and then now it seems to be coming back a little bit. I mean, when I was playing, I remember that stealing 40, 45 bases a year would put you about 5th or 6th in the league, and now it leads the league. So the fact of stealing bases, maybe not much of importance as it was before, but I think it is inching its way back, and I think we're going to start seeing more people, steal more bases. You got the young gentleman in the minor leagues with the Reds who stole over 100 bases, I think, last year in the minor leagues. So
Billy Hamilton.
Hamilton, we see more people like this coming into baseball. It's going to ratchet up the necessity to steal bases.
You bring that up, Steve, and you talk about like sabermetrics. It's really just getting the information and the probability. And you're right, stealing bases in a lower run scoring environment, like when you guys were playing, or now, it makes more sense. But I see you guys, and I see Kirk Gibson with a book out. I see you guys looking at it. What's in that book? What are you guys looking at?
I can't tell you exactly what's in that book. It's private information. But I can tell you that Gibby is an absolute student of the game. He doesn't miss a beat. He's on every single one of these things, and we meet constantly on it. And we're aware of the necessity to go out and manufacture runs. That's part of the makeup of our ball club, and we're going to take advantage of every opportunity we can. Yeah,
look, you should have a book. No, absolutely. I laud you guys for looking at things and knowing who could come in, who you should be using, all that stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Brian, the thing is, I think sometimes, and we've discussed this a lot, everybody goes, oh, that's a sabermetric thought. I kept a book on pitchers. I kept a book on guys I faced. I've been keeping books forever.
Of course, yeah.
I'm sure you guys are applying those same type of things, Steve.
Yeah, and this one thing I want to say to Brian is that, hey, sabermetrics, I think it's great. I think there's a real place for it. If you go way back in time, you look at the first sabermetric might have been the righty-lefty matchup. Well, we know if there's that kind of a matchup, there's more of a chance for the hitter to be successful. But when you get too much and delve too deeply in the sabermetrics, I think that could be where the problem lies. But as far as the stuff on the surface, the macro view on things about sabermetrics, I think it's great.
There you go. What do you think of that?
Well, as much information as you possibly could have.
Let's talk about your club here real quick, too. You've had some guys really taking off and really jumping off. Look at Goldie, the way he's been playing. Didi at shortstop. You changed the culture. You changed your team. But tell us a little bit about the Diamondbacks club and how you guys go out to play every night.
Well, the culture of our team is that we're going to put pressure on the defense as much as we possibly can, where it's taking that base hard and forcing the outfielder to come up just a tad bit earlier to look at the runner, any type of advantage we can possibly get. If he's going away from the play and he's not in his throwing lane, we're going to make sure that we can take the extra base. If it's bunting the ball to the right side, get the runner over, whatever it takes, that's the kind of a culture that our team has, is to put pressure on the other team. And the players have really bought into that. We have got the most selfless bunch of young professional men on this team that I can ever tell you. I mean, this team really does smell a lot like those teams. I was on those World Championship teams. They care about the other guy. They care about winning. They're at the park early, and they're always pulling for the other individual. So this is a fantastic bunch of people. Started from early in spring training, and they've kept the same focus. They know the importance of practicing correctly, and they go at it very professionally.
What is the methodology then, Steve, of when to know who to attack, when to attack exactly, and when to try to take that extra base so it's a good risk reward?
Well, that's a good question, and that's something that, matter of fact, we're going to cover that as soon as I get off the mic here. We go over this in our preparation, in our in our defensive upfronts against the other team. We go against it when there's a new team in town. Whether we played them recently or not, we're going to have meetings on them and find where we can take advantages. And so that's what we're going to do just shortly. And it's worked for us. It's been a constant type of thing that the team does, no matter who it is. We don't take anybody lightly.
Hey, Steve, I know you've been keeping your eye on Puig out in L.A., and you were a Dodger Rookie of the Year yourself. What stands out to you when you watch this young man play?
Well, he's got a lot of raw talent. There's no question about it. And in a macro sense for baseball, he's been great for it. I mean, he came onto that team when they really needed a shot in the arm. In a real short view of it for the Dodgers, I'm sure they're loving it. Their fan base is energized. It's done a lot for their team. I think it's galvanized their team a bit. And the Dodgers have had a tough start, but they've got a very talented ball club. But we know that in the end, they're a team that everybody in the West is going to have to reckon with.
Well, Steve, you're still looking good. I can see that. And you got caught up in that brawl. No scarves on your face at all. Where were you in the middle of the craziness that was going on out there?
Harold, this is a weird thing. And on national TV, I don't know if I said, but I was actually going to the bathroom when that started, I had to hurry out of there and got on the field and kind of inched my way up. But if you check the tape, I was at the front, I was ready to roll. But the thing about it is you never want to come out there and just sucker punch anybody. The first thing is you want to protect your teammates, make sure that you don't get sucker punched as well. And then if if the throwdown's going to happen one-on-one, let it happen. But you want to make sure that you don't get nailed.
Get out there. I love
that's what I did. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
You're like, oh no, I'm missing it.
I was like, whoops, I got to go. Zip and go, you know what I mean? Crazy.
That's great stuff. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. And get to your team meetings. I know you don't want to get fined, and you got things to go over with the players. We appreciate you taking the time.
Okay, guys, thanks for having me.
You're always welcome. When you come out to New York, come to the studio. All right? We'd love to have you on.
I'd love to.
Take care, Steve.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. You know what? It's funny is that you talk about the sabermetrics, the mix with the scouting. Those guys defend better than anybody. They take the extra base, and that can be measured. They're very good at it.
It's good stuff.
In the bathroom. There we go. There's a scoop. We just learned that.